Welcome to our podcast, Parenting by the Pint. Enjoy the show.
Greetings, Minivan Mafia. Lauren and I are longtime friends from Chicagoland that love getting together to chat about life, kids, family, and beer.
Each week we'll feature a brewery and sample at least 2 of their beers.
We'll also discuss a variety of topics ranging from parenting, pop culture, travel, marriage, and just about anything else that comes to mind. Welcome, everybody. Here we go again. Hi. So, Lauren pointed out right before we started recording that the brewery we're going to drink is actually a brewery that I probably drove directly past on our trip to Shawnee 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's may have been what triggered them in my brain when I bought these beers. But I can't say that for sure. I think that gives me far too much credit. So without further ado, we're going to drink Big Muddy Brewing from Murphysboro, Illinois, which is right by Shawnee, like I said. Mm-hmm. And we're going to start with their Dunkel. Yep. And Lauren is going to tell me about them.
Yeah. All right. What is this? Saluki? Isn't Saluki SIU's mascot?
Yeah, it's an Egyptian war dog.
Oh, fancy.
I remember that from the U of I days.
Ah, so yeah, it's also pretty close to Carbondale, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, well, let me try this. And then I'll talk about Murphysboro. All right, dark amber. I haven't had a good amber ale in a while.
Yeah.
Ooh. I love the color. Ooh. It's got a good flavor to it. Yeah, I haven't had an amber beer in quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I don't know that I have either.
Big Muddy Brewing. Huh, they must brew out of 2 locations, because this is brewed in Maryland Heights, Missouri, which is right probably over the border, and this one is brewed in Murphysboro, Illinois. So the next one. All right, so Big Muddy Brewing is, like you said, in Murphysboro, Illinois. They opened in 2009, so they've been open for a bit now.
So they did exist when I was down there.
They did exist when you were down there, for sure. Yes, they did. Yeah, the founder, actually, Chuck Sternberg, went to SIU. Okay. So makes sense with the Saluki, in the 80s. And then he started homebrewing, of course, with his college buddies, which was the beginning of his love of brewing beer. After graduation, though, he went a different route. He went 2 different routes. Okay. He actually opened a Rosati's franchise down in Carbondale. He brought the Chicago pizza world down there a little bit. But then in 1990, he went a completely different direction and opened a business called Spray Shield Industries. They essentially sell paint booth supplies. Okay. They're still around today, actually. So that's been in business since 1990. And then eventually he got around to opening the brewery in 2009. So he had a couple other businesses first. I guess probably figured out how to run general business.
Sounds kind of like my dad's history.
Kind of, right?
Pizza. Did that. Yeah, he did pizza, and then he started the sign business.
Yeah, just never went. Maybe his, was next... life would have been brewing beer. Who knows? More likely funny. Wine, but...
Yeah, maybe. It's funny when my dad talks about running the pizza place. He always used to be like, don't ever open a restaurant. He'd be like, it's so hard, and the margin, is so thin, and, you get people steal from you, and you get... complaints and difficult customers, and it's the hours are bad, and he just had no positive things to say about restaurant work. And
interesting.
And it's been enough of a deterrent to keep me away from the field.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, Chuck decided to go from pizza to paint to beer. So, that's where we're at now. So 2009, he began brewing what would be Big Muddy's first beer was a wheat beer. And then they've gone on, obviously, to make numerous other beers. He started distributing to local bars, restaurants, eventually liquor stores, just out of the back of his pickup truck. So, you know how a lot of places start.
Yeah.
In 2014, they did some expansion, added production, storage capacity, a canning line, but they also added 9 acres of land, which he wanted to use to actually grow barley and wheat to be able to do that in-house. So, pretty cool. Big Muddy refers to the river that runs through Murphysboro. And they actually have a annual beer fest. It's not just beer, but it's an annual fest. It's called the Big Muddy Monster Brew Fest. It's music, craft beer, community, all kinds of things. They've been doing it for decades now. They've been doing it for a long time, almost since they opened, I believe, and everything that they get goes to fund local projects back to the community. So they built a dog park and a splash pad, and they've donated money to different community organizations, and they continue doing it. It's in October of this year, but so it's the Big Muddy Monster Brewfest, and Big Muddy is the river, but Big Muddy Monster is essentially a legend of Southern Illinois, of a giant, hairy monster with white fur covered in mud that supposedly inhabited the riverbank and terrorized people of Southern Illinois in like the 70s.
Awesome. Like a Sasquatch of sorts.
Exactly. Like a Sasquatch Yeti of sorts. The Big Muddy Monster is like the Missouri-ish river of the Sasquatch.
That is really awesome. I have like a kind of secret interest in the Sasquatch.
Bigfoot? Like,
that's sort of a thing that like at one point I was pretty sure that Bigfoot was real.
Okay.
And I sort of just decided to go all in on that. Nice. So I bought this hat and it says, or I got it as a gift actually. My brother, of course, bought it for me. And it just says "Gone Squatchin'," and I try to wear it on occasions where I feel like I'm going to maximize the amount of like questions about the hat.
I like it.
And so I don't pull it out very often. It won't be going on the European vacation because I don't think the Europeans are going to get it.
We'll appreciate it nearly as much as.
But it,
That's fair.
It does have its place. It would be great for the golf outing, maybe, or like a beer festival.
That's a good choice.
Be good.
But yeah, if you're around Murphysboro, Illinois in October, I would definitely say that you should stop on by the Big Muddy Monster Brew Fest.
I love that. And October is a good time for a beer fest. Although you do run into the possibility of cold.
Yeah, but at least in that area, it's probably very pretty, warmer? And it's the beginning. It was like the first weekend in October.
Oh, that's
so
not bad.
Like it's probably pretty solid for like jeans and a hoodie and beer outside with music.
Oh,
sounds perfect.
That's my favorite
frankly.
time to drink beer. Agreed. Outside, jeans, hoodie.
Yes, exactly. So it definitely piqued my interest, but I have never drank anything by them. I'd honestly never heard of them before. They were the first brewery to open in Murphysboro in probably 50 plus years at the time.
Okay.
There's been a handful more breweries that have opened in their county and surrounding areas since then, and not surprising, they're very close to SIU as well.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Being near a college town, I'm sure helped that along. But yeah, so pretty cool. I would definitely check this out if you're in the area. But so I'm gonna continue drinking my Saluki Dunkel Dog. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on and talk about our topic. Something that I think, for the most part, we kind of dread talking about because it's the list of things that we want to try and do that we just never get to do. And I came up with a list, and I told myself that while my list doesn't seem that long, I'm sure in the course of this conversation, I will think of 6 or 7 more things
to add to said
that
list.
I could absolutely add. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what I'll start with is something I've actually mentioned recently, and that's the trim on my house, which needs to be scraped off and sanded and repainted, and I'm supposed to have already done that. And I would tell you, I'm just being honest, the odds of that happening before my vacation are almost 0.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mostly, and I'm not making excuses, mostly because it rained every weekend for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, true. The weather's been crap.
How am I supposed to paint my trim if it's raining outside? Mm-hmm. I just don't know how that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, no. Our, in a similar vein, our deck is crap. The back deck around our pool was not done particularly well when it was put up. We went with a paint/stain that eventually got recalled, so it flakes off, which is great. And power washing will take the excess off, but it won't take the whole layer off. So I have zero idea what we're going to do.
Well, unfortunately, I might be able to help you with that because I was kind of in the same position when I did start getting the trim off. Yeah. And what my brother recommended is a wire brush.
Oh, okay.
And it is not an ideal process, but it is effective at pretty much getting back down to the wood.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe you can find like a larger application version of that.
Yeah, I'm sure the Google machine will be consulted in this
Yeah, he said wire brush. I bought one. I haven't gone out there and but I know it'll work because I've done a little bit of like sanding, and I've seen like what that's accomplished, and like I know the wire brush will get in there.
Buy like a sander. Yeah, so this is the deck in general is a large project that we need to take on because we also want to reconfigure it. We have this railing that is essentially between our sliding glass door and it's blocking the entrance to the pool.
Yeah, you have like a divider.
Yeah, but we really don't need it because the kids they don't need to, like, when they were young, we like wanted to make sure they couldn't like get over it, like go from the back door to the pool without a gate.
Yeah.
At this point, it's completely unnecessary, and it just makes it so that people have to squish to get into the chairs that the table is by.
Yes.
So my husband just wants to literally like cut that railing out.
Yeah.
And just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because we'll just put gates up on both sides so you can't get into the pool from like the grass.
Yeah.
But we'll just lock our sliding glass door, and we have an alarm on it, and we have a camera on it.
Sure,
And we have if anybody goes onto our deck near the pool entrance, we can see them from our cameras. So anyways, so that's this whole deck is like a huge undertaking that we will need to take on like piece by piece. And we have to, quite literally, and it's just going to be a hot mess, and I'm not looking forward to it, and I'm sure it's going to be stupid expensive, and so that we're currently trying to open the pool, which it's open, but it's green, and we've put, like, the whole process of that is a pain, too. So everything to do with our backyard right now is, like, a giant headache, but we're starting with
I get it.
The deck.
I will say I have a small sense of relief about not setting up my pool this year because we're going to be gone for a month, and I do not want to set it up in July when it is 100 degrees outside. So I'm just not doing it, and we've decided to get the membership for the Park District pool. And it's like $60 a person, and it's good for the entire summer. And they have like member only swims at times and things like that. So you don't have to go on Saturday at 2 and be with
everyone else is there.
So I think that's probably the plan. I haven't actually bought those yet because I have to go in to buy them, and I add it to the list. I can't
purchase online take much longer for me to
add it to the list basically.
It's on the list.
So on the painting, since we're still talking about painting, I still haven't painted the front wall of my house. So the entry wall of my house is still the old color. There is literally a place where the new color and the old color meet, like a child has done it. It's really starting to wear on me because we are actually pretty much at the 1 year mark since we painted in the first place. Now, I don't know that a year ago from this time we were done with everywhere else, because we did do it kind of over a longer period of time. But it's
been a
while and it just stresses me out. And the funny thing is that most people don't notice because when you walk through my front door,
you don't look
behind
at that.
You.
Yeah, exactly.
So every once in a while I'll mention it to somebody and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't notice that." And I'll be like, yeah, I know, but I did. Yeah.
All the time.
I got to get that sorted. It's just like, that's the thing that bothers me the most that's on my to-do list. The trim, honestly, I worry about it very little. Very little. Not enough, probably.
Fair. That's fair. I get that. Yeah. The deck, in order to have people over, I feel like we need to do something with it. So it's like, it's kind of postponing. Like, I had suggested having like my son's lacrosse team over for like a end of season, like pool party. And my husband's like, we have to do something with this deck before we can literally have anybody over. Which I get. Which I understand.
It's reasonable. It's totally
like,
reasonable.
Oh, yeah. And then continuing with my outdoor problems, we had talked about, me and my husband, that we hate with a passion our weed garden, which is what I refer to as the play area, because it's just a weed garden.
Yeah.
Like every other day, the day after you pull all of the weeds, which takes like 8 hours, they're just back.
Yeah.
So the plan is, /was, actually I think still is to pull them all, put down just weed killer, and like pull up all the old mulch, and we're getting rubber mulch.
Yeah,
so
that's what we have under the swing set.
Kills them, and
and I don't remember the last time you looked in my backyard, but where I have the rubber mulch, and I put down like landscape fabric too.
We did 2 before and it did nothing, but we're gonna put down 2 layers of it, and then the rubber mulch.
Yes, and we did rubber, and almost entirely has never been any growth where the rubber mulch is. So I can say I think that's effective. My brother actually, full of ideas, that one proposed salting the earth at one point to me, because you will literally kill everything and nothing will ever grow.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, my husband was like, well, what if we move and like you have to pull it up? And I'm like, that is a problem for future people. That is not my problem.
You could
like,
pay somebody to do
care.
That.
Also, I'm selling this house with that play area fully intact. I am not doing a damn thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not pulling that up. That is a problem for whoever moves in after us. So, not worrying about it.
Yeah.
But that is also on the list, because every time I look outside, I'm like, oh, our weed garden is growing
It looks so great. Thank God for spring.
Yes. So that is also on the outdoor. I have a lot of outdoor things.
I don't like outdoor projects.
So we poured an entire concrete patio, not last year, but the year before. We've not bought a single piece of furniture to put on said patio. We have a big patio right outside. Like, you walk down the stairs from the deck. There's nothing there.
Well, I assume initially it was because patio furniture was impossible to get for a while.
But now,
but that's no longer the case.
Yeah. So now it's more like, so what do we want to put there? Like, I'm not entirely sure.
You should get one of those chairs from Aeon Air. Remember that place? The vineyard. It was like $1,200 Adirondack chair.
Yeah, crazy personalized Adirondack chair.
Free shipping though. No.
Yeah, free shipping for a $1,200 chair.
I think he said if you get 2, it's free shipping.
Okay. I'll remember that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. While I had a genuine interest, like from aesthetic, in theory, I was like, no,
not for that price.
So thank you, sir.
I think
Do you
in
have
my
a raffle?
Crazy Amazon cart, I have like Adirondack chairs that I put in there like 2 years ago.
That are in the, like, later.
That are in my save for later items that I literally think I put in there. Like, I have 97 saved for later items, by the way.
Yeah. I tried to go through that recently. That's another good to-do list. I did go through my save for later, because sometimes I'll put things in my cart that I like hear about or see, and I'll be like, oh, that sounds like a cool idea. I'll use that for this. And then
you don't.
6 months from now, I'm like, well, since I'm not going to do that thing, I should probably just take this out of the save for later.
Now I'm super intrigued by all the crap that's in our
I know, it's fun, right? It's a fun place to look.
What is this? Why do I have all these things?
Yeah, I know. It's a fun place to go down a hole and try to understand your past
and whether
self.
It's me or my husband. And sometimes I'm like, what is this? Oh, and then Taco Cat Goat whatever game my daughter
Taco Cat Goat
that.
Cheese Pizza. Yes, I love that game.
My daughter, so they got a bunch of like gift cards and money for their birthday. So I just took them to Target one day and I was like, all right, you can spend your gift card, because there was a gift card specifically for Target. And see, look, Adirondack chairs in my.
Oh, those look pretty good. $200 though. That's not bad.
It's not bad. I know.
Yeah.
So
I bet you when you put them there, they were more than that.
Yeah. So so that's a possibility. But right now we just have a big patio area with nothing in it.
That's awesome.
So at some point we need to put something in it.
I love that.
So
hilariously, I will say that I am the type of person that would buy patio furniture without a patio and then think we should get a patio.
So
I bought an umbrella for the backyard because I found that I would sit out there while the kids were swimming and didn't have any shade. There's no shade in my backyard, which is nice for the pool.
Sure, but
because
not
it kept my
to
pool
sit.
warm.
Yeah.
But not great for sitting outside. And so I got this umbrella. But that's literally what I have. It's just like an umbrella.
I actually need an umbrella. I need to go purchase an umbrella. I have the stand, but one of ours literally bent in half.
Wow.
Like one of the crazy windstorms we had destroyed one of our umbrellas. We have 3 patio umbrellas on our deck. So we need to replace one. And I'm thinking we need one for the other cement patio area.
Yeah,
if
maybe
we would
eventually.
Purchase some chairs to sit in.
I think
perhaps.
There's good ones at Costco. You should look at Costco for the umbrella because every once in a while they have a really good one.
Okay.
And their stuff's pretty good.
I like to peruse Costco.
Yeah,
every
it wouldn't
once
hurt.
In a while.
It wouldn't hurt.
I should add that to my list somewhere. But yes, I keep every time I walk outside and I look at our cement that we paid a pretty penny for because cement wasn't cheap or hasn't been cheap.
No.
So we poured this patio and now there is nothing there. So it seems a little useless at this point.
I get that.
Need to make it useful in some way, shape, or form. So those are the big backyard.
Well, and I've said the things that I have that are the bigger things. I have one kind of minor, not that important, but it's been on my mind for a long time. My kids' beds. I don't like the bunk beds. I've talked about this before. Yes. I want to find a new layout. I watched this Instagram reel a few days ago of these people who kind of made a loft bed out of IKEA dressers, sort of.
Okay. Huh.
And I thought, that's possible. I could maybe do that. And then I read all the comments and there were all of these people that were don't do that.
Oh.
That furniture isn't meant to hold weight like that.
Yeah.
Also, your mattress has to be able to breathe or it'll get moldy.
Because you don't want that.
Because you sweat at night. And the whole reason why you don't get mold on your bed is because your bed breathes.
It breathes. There's slits, slats, and
that it's got open space somewhere.
Yes.
And so if you put it on a board, there's nothing like that.
Yeah, interesting. No, good call. Yeah.
So, that was really interesting to me.
Yeah.
And so then, and also the space that the video was in was they framed out the walls, the whole area was a bed surface. And my one son's room, but my one son's room,
open.
It would be too hard to do that without blocking something already in his room. And the whole point would be to save space, not to take space away.
Right. Yeah.
So I was sort of I don't think this is going to work. Yeah. So but I do often think about the bed layout and the bed situation and how I would maybe resolve that. I do think that, you reach a point where when your kids get a little bit older, that, you want their bed to just be functional and practical and comfortable.
Yeah.
And that it doesn't have to be fun.
No.
Because it's just a place for them to sleep and feel rested.
My youngest, we just got them new beds a year ago. Well, yeah, we did. We actually got rid of... I had an old bed from our old house, when we bought that house in 2007 or something ridiculous. And we just gave that to my daughter, but it was huge in her room. It was a 4-poster bed and it was cute, but it was giant. It took up way too much space.
Yeah.
So we just got rid of it and got her just a regular bed frame and with a headboard, and it works great, but it's just functional. There's nothing to it. There's a headboard. It's a frame and there's a mattress.
Right. Well, in the long run, I think that's really, there's always been this part of me that's maybe we would go to IKEA and get the day bed that pulls out because then when your kids aren't there, maybe you have guests that can sleep in that room or something like that. And I like that idea as well. But being that particular piece of furniture only costs $300, I don't necessarily think I need to buy it today so that I can have it 10 years from now in my house.
No.
I could just buy it 10 years from now.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be here.
There. Yeah.
So I should just do what's best for them.
We did keep one twin size mattress for each of the kids' rooms and put them under their beds so that when they have people sleep over, they have a mattress and not just a sleeping bag on the floor.
Yeah.
So
my older son, his bunk bed is actually really just like a loft.
Oh, okay.
And when it used to be my husband's, and when it was in my husband's room when he was growing up, the bottom bunk, finger quotes, was actually like turned outward.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know? And what I ended up doing, because I felt like that took up too much space, but my son wanted to sleep on the bottom.
Yeah.
At least initially, for sure. Is I found a bed frame that fit under the top bunk. Okay. So it's very like narrow and it folds up. It's basically like a travel frame sort of.
Okay.
And so my attitude is that someday, eventually, that's just going to end up somewhere with a twin mattress.
Sure.
Like you said, maybe under the bed or
just
something
wherever,
like that. I mean, I could fit that under my own bed
and
pull it out if somebody were sleeping in a room that didn't have that available.
Yeah, we don't make the kids, like, my kids have sleepovers once in a while and they have people stay over and they don't share like a bed. They just sleep on, generally. Depends on who's sleeping over. Like, but so we want to have an extra space. So granted, I now have 6 kid-sized blow-up mattresses from my kid's birthday party. So if anybody needs a blow-up kid mattress,
I wish I could needed one, because I want to be like, I'll take 2, but I don't. I
have 6 along with little tents. Like,
I know, it's adorable. I love it.
I feel like I definitely should sell like half of that as soon as we're done with all of this mess of we have the last birthday party this coming weekend. So so that's, my mother always harasses me that I need to put flowers in front of my house because our house is not very, there's no aesthetic to it. There's no flowers. There's nothing pretty. It's just a house, like, which I don't particularly care about, but apparently other people like to see pretty flowers.
I've heard that.
So I'm like, how can I do this and make it as easy on me as possible?
Well, I can tell you what I did. I went to like this Will County Nature, and they do like plant sales, and you buy like what would ultimately turn into, I mean, the space by my front door, which is pretty decent sized. I bought like $100 worth of like little saplings, if you will, which is not the proper term because I think saplings are trees. But whatever.
I get it. They're little flower things.
What I did was, a friend of mine helped me with kind of the initial, she just sort of like helped me kind of plot out where to put them.
Okay.
And she like went to my front area and she just like made little marks and she was like, put this one here and put that one there, and she like kind of threw them on the ground in spots, and then I dug little holes and put them in, and that already sounds like more work than it actually was. It really wasn't. It wasn't too 45 minutes.
No, I can handle that. I can handle.
And that's the only real effort was. Then I went and got a bunch of mulch because you got to get water to them. And then I tried to be very persistent about watering them early on. Now, I know you walked up to my... None of that was weeds. There's like 2 weeds in my front area that need to be yanked out. The rest of that is stuff that's going to flower.
That's nice. Okay.
And they look nice. Yeah. They looked really nice last year. And actually, I was looking out there earlier today. I went to get my son. He went to play with the neighbor. And there's a couple in little corners that didn't grow last year that look great.
Okay.
It might be the fact that we've had rain every weekend, as I've mentioned previously. So bad for my trim, good for my flowers.
All right.
But it was relatively painless.
Okay.
It was a little bit of effort initially, and this is year 3.
Oh, okay.
And they just keep coming back. They're perennials.
Oh, I would need perennials. I can't do anything that
and honestly, if I had to do it over again, I would maybe think about just getting like 2 or 3 different things. And doing like put the tallest ones in the back and middle and front and do something a little bit more like symmetrical. Because mine is a little bit more like wildflowery looking, which I like. Sure. And it does look really pretty when everything's like blooming and flowered and everything. But I don't know. I'm a little bit more symmetrical than that. I think if I did it over or if I fill in, I would make sure I got more of what I already have.
Yeah. Okay.
But I like it. It wasn't too bad. But, you know, it was work that I wasn't doing before. So I will say that.
Yes. I don't know. Like, it's... This is going to sound dumb. But, like, we just have river rock. Or not even. We've got just, like, almost lava rock in front of our big window in the front of our house, but next to our entryway. And we use that area for, like, our, like, Halloween decorations, Christmas decorations. Like, we just put them in the rocks because it's incredibly convenient. Yeah. So we could do that even if there were flowers, because they would be dead for the most part by then.
Right.
So, but we'd have to pull up all of that lava rock. And
yeah, I will say there was rock before I did this, and that was definitely the hard part.
Yeah,
that was
be
definitely
the worst
really,
part
really
to
hard.
me would be pulling all of that rock out.
Yeah, we just sort of relocated it to another area that we had some rock already, and it worked out. But like, that was a pain. Yeah. That was definitely the hard part, was getting the ground ready to actually put flowers there, which means getting rid of the vast majority of the rocks. You can't be having a bunch of rocks in your
if you're
flower
trying to
garden.
plant flowers. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to have a pretty front yard. I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah,
I contemplate
definitely
it
a hurdle
on a regular basis as to what I should do, if anything, out there.
Yeah, so I respect that.
Yeah.
Going down to the small tasks that I haven't taken care of. I need to find a place for my cat's litter box. You obviously know where it is because you almost stepped in it when you came into my house. When we first got the cats, we put the litter box in the basement, which is where we used to keep it when we had our last cat. And they weren't 100% finding it. So there would be little accidents, which is pretty common for kittens anyway. So like that maybe would have happened anyway. But so then we had the litter box upstairs for a while, and it was like in our laundry room, which is way too small for a litter box.
Oh yeah.
And then I moved it to the top of my basement stairs inside the door. So like if the door's shut and you're not going in the basement, for the most part, you don't really know it's there. It is not where I want it to be forever. I have decided that they get to enjoy it until we get back from our trip. And then I will be moving it down into the basement. And I may take it slow. We may go at the bottom of the stairs, you know, kind of out of the way.
Used to it,
but then it's going into the area where I have another litter box in there, and they have started regularly using that one. Okay. So that was a really good sign.
That's
so like
good.
I feel like we're getting there.
Making progress. They'll figure it out. Yeah.
I won't say this is a thing that's on the to-do list that I've been slacking on, and in so much as it's just something that's still on my mind to get taken care of.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
We don't have any pets other than the one fish that just won't die. So
everybody has that one fish, right?
It's just like, I mean, yeah, it's still around. I'm surprised, frankly. But now the kids are like, should we get another one? Does he need a friend? And I was like,
Does he need a
friend? He seems fine. I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. But that's not on the list. No, we've got some other not minor, not major, in between kind of things. Like the kids' bathroom upstairs. It's been 9 years since we did it, and there's a big skylight in there, so everything that we bought for that bathroom has since significantly faded. Like, there were yellow rubber duck pictures on the walls. They're like white rubber duck pictures now. So like, I need to update it, but also one side of it, we had to redo a lot of it when we first bought the house. Like the drywall, there's a big chunk that like it got too humid or something. It got wet, like, and it's just crumbled away. So I'm like, well, we have to repair that at a minimum. Yeah. And then like, because it's literally just continues to crumble off of the wall. And I'm like, drywall was neither of our strong suits, so we'll have to get somebody to help with that. Yeah. And then we'll have to repaint it. And then like at that point, we might as well redecorate then, because we're taking part of the wall down. So actually, it's going to be a relatively big project, not little project.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain.
Something that needs to be done. We at minimum need to fix the drywall. So,
my biggest beef with painting and drywall is the fact that there is no way to do it faster.
No, at all.
There is only one speed for that project, and it is over multiple days.
Oh, for sure. You can't do it quickly.
You can't do it in one day. And that is, for me, the biggest problem with painting and patching and priming and doing all of that.
It drags on.
And, because like if I could, like I've patched some holes and dings and stuff like that over the years, and like there are other ones, but if I could patch a hole, sand it, prime that hole, and then paint that spot in 3 hours
and just be done, you would do all of them.
Yeah, like that would have been taken care of. That would be totally
but
done.
You have to do one step at a time and then wait.
Yeah,
especially if you're adding and repairing drywall.
Yes,
you literally have to wait an excessive amount of time for that to be dry.
Yeah.
Before you
have made that mistake before, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I primed too early one time on a patch. Yeah. And there's like, you can see it. And I had never painted it because I've been meaning to go back over it with a little bit more patch and then reprime it and then paint that spot.
But it takes a number of days to get to the point where
that kills me. Multi-day single projects are not I'm not good at that. I can knock something out.
Oh yeah, if I'm building a piece of furniture and rearranging a room and there's nothing to paint that needs to be done, like
I can totally handle that. It could take 6 hours and I can do it as long as I get to go 6 hours straight.
Yeah. But the stopping and starting, it's not for me. Nope. It's on the list. It's on the short, long list of things that need to be done.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. The bathroom. Your kid's bathroom, though. So, like, I'm the same way about my kid's bathroom. Like, that's not a priority in the scheme of things.
It hasn't been. So, honestly, our bathroom needed to be done 8 years ago, and it still does. But the only people that ever use our bathroom are me and my husband.
Yeah.
No one else even
So you're
steps
just like,
foot
I can live with this?
because it's in our master.
Yeah.
So literally nobody even sees it. So, like, it's mauve, and it needs to be redone, and everything about our bathroom needs to literally be teared down and start over.
Oof. Yeah.
Which will cost a crap load of money. First of all, we won't have a bathroom. It will be difficult because we really won't have much access to our bedroom even because it's the only entrance is from our bedroom.
Yeah.
So like that's where they'd have to do all the work. And it just sounds like a lot. I'm sure I would love it when it's done because I don't like our bathroom at all. But again, it's like we're the only two that use it. So is that where I want to spend my money and time?
Yeah.
So
I know. I don't like the vanity in my bathroom. I have some complaints about my bathroom, but for the most part, I'm accepting of it. But the vanity, I have like the double sink
me too.
Cabinet thingy. And to be perfectly honest with you, I wish I didn't. I would rather just have a vanity that just had one sink and a little bit more counter space. And I know a lot that's very counterintuitive. Most people don't feel that way.
We have quite a bit of counter space, even with our double. So
I just don't like, and the cabinet layout I don't like.
Well, you and Mike probably don't get ready at the exact same time.
Almost never.
Brandon and I, every day that both him and I go to work, or he goes to work and I'm even working at home, we're up and like doing stuff at the same time.
I don't think we ever do that unless we're going to the same place. And we'll just have a conversation the day before
like
about
who's going to get ready first or whatever.
For the most part. So, like it's so rare. And so I guess I sort of just feel like if I could relay out the
what
vanity
would make sense for you,
area, I would just do it differently.
That's totally fair. Yeah. For us, we do get ready at the same time often,
right?
So it's beneficial for us to have the double vanity.
That makes total sense.
So we would keep that, but there's just so much else about the bathroom that I would, and I'm sure I've explained this before, but like you walk in, we have the vanity, we have a tub and a shower, we have a linen closet, and then we have another door to the water closet with a toilet and another shower. Like, whoa, it doesn't make any sense.
That's so weird.
So like we have a bathroom with 2 different showers.
Do you guys use both? Do you guys favor one strongly?
We don't use one anymore. We don't use the one with the toilet. We just bought a giant like laundry thing that we put in there, and that's where we store like our laundry sorting. And we just use the one shower. And so it's like, this is dumb. first of all.
Yeah. Now I can see why you would want to redo that bathroom.
There's so much space that's completely unused. And the space between the shower and the vanity is got to be like 7 feet. Like,
oh, wow.
It's excessive. Really big. Like, we could have had double the tub size in there.
Yeah.
And we could still walk through without a problem.
It's so funny.
The way that it's set up makes absolutely no sense, and it's mauve, and it's old, and it's...
Wow. Now I really want to see your bathroom.
Everything is just not... Nothing is how I would set it up if I were going to redo it at all. And there's no exhaust fan anywhere in our bathroom.
No.
Zero. Like, we have to open the window. Or like, there's none. It doesn't make any sense.
I get irrationally upset when I stay in a hotel that doesn't have an exhaust fan.
It's so weird.
I have, like... I know this is a little off, but I have like pet peeves about certain hotels. Like, I'll look up a layout for a hotel before staying there because I don't like the ones where there isn't a sink where the toilet and the shower are.
If you have to walk out. And
And I get the idea, especially if you're like a family, then, someone can brush their teeth while you're in the shower or whatever. Right, but there's a part of me that's sort of like...
There should be a
but
sink
I have to come
all
out
the time
to wash my hands. Or like, if I'm getting ready for bed at night... Yeah. I'm at the sink and you're sleeping right there.
Right. That makes no sense.
And
I don't
I'm
like those at all.
washing my face and brushing my teeth with the light on, and you're right there.
Yeah, no, I don't like those at all.
And I just like that really frustrates
me. I've stayed in them, but I do not like them.
Me too.
Them.
And I don't.
Yes.
I won't like immediately eliminate
but
hotels
if
that
you have,
have that layout. But yeah, I will choose a place that has a normal, what I call a normal bathroom.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, it's almost impossible to find out if there's an exhaust fan.
You have no idea.
In a hotel bathroom, nobody tells you that. No. So you really have to roll the dice.
The kids' bathroom has an exhaust fan. Why on earth does the master bathroom, of all places,
that doesn't make any sense?
That has 2 showers, Kara. 2 showers, 0 exhaust. 2 showers.
That's very frustrating.
It makes no sense. Yeah. So that's why, I mean, like, our bathroom doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Nothing about it
that is annoying.
Makes sense. So that's on the bottom of the list of like when we have excess money and time that will at some point get done. It just hasn't crawled its way up. But there's so many things I hate about it. So
I know, right?
At some point
it's gonna bubble up.
It's gonna happen at some point. But there's other things before that, unfortunately, that are my father picks up my oldest to take him to therapy most days, and our front door sticks.
Oh yeah, okay.
It needs to be replaced. We've known this for a while. He complains about it every single day.
Your dad does.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every single day. I can't open the door. I don't know what to tell you. Go through the garage. Like, every day. So that actually needs to be in the short list of things because it does stick. It is hard to open when the twins come home. Like, it is difficult. But, like, it's not... Ours is a double front door, and it doesn't, like, it's not great. We only use one side of it ever. And we're like, well, what do we do? Is this a big project? Or we're going to just get in a big door and then put like those glass blocks on one side?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Or how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
So, but that needs to get done at some point in the relatively near future. But our front door has to be replaced sometime soon. So, I'm not looking forward to that. And like we called... Like, we've had all of our windows and all of our siding replaced on our house since we bought the house.
Okay.
So we called the people that did both our windows and siding, and they don't do front doors. They only do sliding doors. So I'm like, it's a bummer. So, like, there's not a lot of places that just will replace your front door. Yeah. So, I mean, if it's just a 1-for-1 replacement, no big deal. But for us, it's likely not going to be just, we're going to replace this door. And then the storm doors. And then, so... That's,
Oof.
Yeah, all of these things just make me like, I don't like it.
I said that we were not really going to enjoy this topic. Yes. This was not an enjoyable...
No.
The only other thing I'll say, and if you want, you can crack that beer while I say it, is that there's always my biggest thing to overcome, I think, is that I try to find places for everything. And you're sitting in my basement, so you know that I am failing at that. Because there are things that are definitely not where they're. I mean, like, why is that on that chair over there? Like, what is going on there? What's the purpose of that? That's not. It's not where it belongs. And so I struggle with that because sometimes the basement becomes the catch-all.
Totally get it. Ours currently is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sold my van a year ago, and I still have like a bag that has the stuff that was in my van when I sold it.
I have that in my garage right now.
Yeah.
So.
I went through it recently to pull out. I had a first aid kit in my van.
Oh.
We have one in all of our cars, and we did not have a first aid kit at work.
Oh.
Or we did, but we were starting to really run low on things. And so I grabbed the darn thing and I just brought it to work. I was like, I paid $8 for this.
Yeah.
It's got a ton of the basics.
The things you need. Yeah.
Let me just bring it to work and we'll burn through it. And then when we need to get something else,
buy a new one,
we will buy it.
Yeah. I have a couple of bags since I got a new car about a month or so ago, maybe.
Sure.
Maybe a little more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of the stuff. So it's not a year, but
no,
I have
no, that's not as
multiple bags sitting in our garage, which I'm sure my husband's going to yell at me for soon, that I have not gone through, that I need to do something with at some point.
Yeah.
So that's definitely needs to happen. And then our basement is... Right now, it's a catch-all for lots of things. For a while, it was planning for the twins' sleepover kind of birthday things. And we're close to the end of that. But then it's just going to be a catch-all for the stupid tents and mattresses that I bought. I think I'm just going to buy a big Rubbermaid bin and stick them in the crawl space or something for like some other event that I could use them for or sell them or something. But, but right now, there's just... miscellaneous things in our basement that like we have a kitchen table that I'm probably just gonna donate because like it's there but like we don't need it.
And that's sort of on my that's always been on my to-do list is like filtering through my spare furniture. Like my husband really wants to put something in the office down here that is either like a futon or a pull-out or something that could be a bed if there was somebody needed a place to sleep because it's a room with a door. So like even though sleeping down in my basement isn't super ideal because there's no bathroom or anything down here.
But it's still a room.
But you still have kind of your own room. You can shut the door. You can lock it. You have some privacy. Whereas like a pull-out couch in my just in the basement, you know, is fine. But it's out in the open, and you might not feel as comfortable.
No, I totally
there.
get that. Yeah.
So I'm always like passively looking for something, but my biggest problem is it can't take up that much room because there's not a lot of room in there, and but it has to be big enough for my husband to sleep on because when one of us is sick, he occasionally will go elsewhere. Mostly when I'm sick. Because I refuse to leave.
You're like, this is my bed. I'm going to stay here.
But, and along those lines, he usually is willing to move because if I'm sick and I don't feel well, he doesn't want to force me out of my bed or whatever.
Fair,
But I'll like snore really loud if I'm really sick or something like that. And he'll, of course, then not sleep.
So it makes sense to have him have a space that he could...
and it's when there used to be a futon in there, I could count on one hand the number of times that he slept in there over the 7 or 8 years.
But it was an option.
But it it existed. So I often passively, I probably have one in my save for later.
I actually have a day bed that's really compact. That's in there.
You should send it to me.
I'll
send you the thing that I found, and we can see if they're the same thing. Because I would love that.
Yes. All right, let's try our s'more stout, which has what I am guessing is the Big Muddy Monster on it. Because it totally looks like Bigfoot / Sasquatch roasting a marshmallow over the fire. So, let's drink. Ooh, it smells like s'mores. I get marshmallow.
I get a lot of marshmallow.
I don't get as much chocolate.
No, honestly, I don't really get chocolate at all. I maybe get a little bit of like a graham crackery cookie.
I get a little tiny chocolate in the aftertaste.
Yeah, maybe.
I get marshmallow in the actual
Well, and even
flavor.
in the aroma, it smells
it smells like
marshmallow.
It definitely smells like... It smells like s'more, but I feel like s'mores smells like roasted marshmallow.
Yeah.
Because that's what you mostly get. But in the taste, I get a lot of marshmallow.
Yeah.
I get a hint of chocolate on the end.
It's not bad. And the positives, in my opinion, are that it does taste similar to s'more, but it isn't like overwhelming.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
It still tastes very beer-like, you know, like it still has, because sometimes
it's not overly sweet by any means.
Sometimes I think you get these adjuncts in beer, and that's all you're really tasting. Is the adjunct, and you don't really get the beer anymore. And this has a little bit of that still, which is nice. Yeah,
it's definitely not. This is not an over, like, also when s'mores or any of the pastry type things, dessert type beers, you know, sometimes they're just overwhelmingly sweet. This one is not.
No, and I think that's a positive for it, for sure.
No, I think so too. You definitely get the marshmallow. I get a tiny hint of chocolate. I don't really get a graham cracker so much in this, but it tastes like a beer, and it's got that marshmallowy. Definitely marshmallow is what's the most... you know, the boldest flavor in here to me, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty good though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the beer was fun. Yeah. The talking about our failures was not
as fun. But, you know, maybe it'll hold me accountable to get some of this crap done. We'll give an update sometime.
Yeah, maybe a year from now.
Yeah, we'll
save this
and
list.
See where we've gotten with any of these to-do list items.
Yeah, have we actually crossed anything off? I really hope that I've crossed off at least the front wall of my house. That's the one I'm gonna hope the
prioritize.
most.
I'm gonna go through and I'll see what I can accomplish here.
Yeah, I think that's great. It's a good goal. If nothing else, we at least we're going to attempt to reach some goals here. I think that's positive.
I agree. All right, that's a good spin on our lists. We will see what happens. So all right, well, this was fun.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to the latest musings from Parenting by the Pint.
Be sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to us wherever you find your podcasts.
Have a great week, and cheers to you all.